New rent report shows monthly living costs in Tampa Bay are up 42% compared to last March.
Bay Area renters are being put out on the street without an affordable living option to turn to. For a small group of women in Tampa, it's the return to a past they've worked so hard to escape from. ABC Action News in-depth reporter Mason Morrow shows us how rent prices are re-victimizing women who fell prey to trafficking.
I'm going to be honest, I just feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stuck.
Stuck in the inescapable situation she clawed out of just 3 years ago.
How am I supposed to live life right and be on the right track and stay out of this messed up cycle when it's just so impossible?
Jasmine Barner was pulled into the dark world of trafficking as a teenager.
Age 13, I was dealing with mental health and then of course drugs, and I started, selling my body to make money. At first, it was just a hustle. It was a way to make quick money. But then after that, it was my way of surviving.
Barner opened up to me about her troubled past with drug addiction, sex trafficking, jail time, losing custody of her kids, a life she forced herself out of for the sake of her 4 young girls.
I can't let them see how hard this really is, because then it's so easy to just be vulnerable and just get sucked into the wrong choices.
After working the Tampa streets for 6 years, falling in and out of drug recovery programs, Barner found help through an organization called Created in 2019.
I went into the house with 2 garbage bags of clothes. That was what I owned.
We're just trying to meet those who may be experiencing trafficking and exploitation, offering gifts, offering resources, letting them know that there are ways that they can exit.
Jillian Penhale is the executive director at Created. Penhale and her team reach out to vulnerable women on the street and provide them a safe haven, a sense of security.
Help them go through the stages of healing and recovery in order to exit and hopefully achieve stable income, stable housing, and just a new future for themselves.
After a year with Created, Barner graduated from the program and nabbed a full-time job, beginning to build that new life for her family.
They taught me how to live my life.
But after just 2 years of progress, she's afraid it's all coming down.
It feels like I'm just being re-victimized over and over again.
Barner had her 4th girl, Nia Lee, 8 months ago, and when her family grew, she knew her home had to grow along with it.
I have to go to a 3-bedroom.
According to the latest rent report by Zumper, the average cost of a 3-bed in Tampa is nearly $2,400. Barner says she can't find anything under $2,000.
I can't afford these places.
To make things worse for Barner, she says every landlord she spoke with requires proof of income 3 times the monthly rent. Barner brings in anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a paycheck.
I'm a single mom. I have 4 girls, and it's hard. I bust my every day, but I don't make that kind of money.
Barner's worst fear is she winds up right where she started, back on the street, and she wouldn't be alone.
We've seen a major increase in the amount of women that we're serving.
Penhale says her Created team is finding double the amount of women trafficking during its weekly outreach. Even more are stopping by the drop-in center. One woman in Created's recovery program, Penhale says, went back to sex work after her apartment simply became too expensive.
Her rent was raised by almost $500 a month, and when that happened, her immediate thought was oh, I'm gonna have to go back out on the street.
With evictions up in March and affordable housing hard to come by, Barner has 1 month to find a new home before her old one beckons her back.
I know that I have not come this far to be on the streets with my 4 kids. You know what I mean? So I know that something is going to happen, but I just can't see it yet.
In Tampa, I'm in-depth reporter Mason Morrow, ABC Action News.